Hi, welcome to KiwaniTalk. My name is Gary Gardner. I'm your host on this program produced at the facilities of WDHS at Dearborn High School, Dearborn, Michigan, my alma mater. We are the longest running cable access television program in the entire world, and we're very happy to be able to talk about a really cool organization that grants wishes. People think I'm Santa, I grant wishes for kids, but this is a real organization that grants wishes for real kids who've got a lot of things going on in their lives. And talking about it, we have Christie Schulte, who is the manager of communications and public relations for Make-A-Wish Michigan.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Great to have you here, Christie. You know, you grant wishes and you do these sort of things, but you weren't always a wish granter. What did you do before you got with Make-A-Wish?
No, before I joined Make-A-Wish, I actually worked for the Detroit Red Wings in their community relations department, and I granted wishes. So when someone wanted to meet the Red Wings, I was the one that made it possible. And now I'm here today with Make-A-Wish on the other side.
How long did you work for the Wings?
8 seasons.
And you told me something that's kind of distressing before the show, is that after you left the Wings' fortunes, your first year there, what did they do?
They won the Stanley Cup, so I got to drive a Corvette in the parade.
Okay, and then you were there for 8 years.
Yep.
You left a couple of years ago, and since then, what's happened to our team?
Sadly, they're in a rebuilding phase
so
right now.
Steve Eiserman, you need to bring her back in some function because she's the good luck charm for the Detroit Red Wings.
It's funny, we actually had a local business donate their suite, so we'll be at the Red Wings game tomorrow night, 4 of our Wish families.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Make-A-Wish started someplace. How and where did it start?
So Make-A-Wish actually started by a group of individuals in Phoenix, Arizona. There was a little boy named Chris Gracious, and he had leukemia, and he was going through a really hard time, and he always, his mom's friend had said, if you could do anything, what would you like to do? And he said, I'd love to be a cop for a day. So he banded together, and they made it possible, and he got to go on a bike and do all these cool things that a normal police officer would get to do. And it was an amazing experience, and unfortunately he passed away shortly thereafter. And the group of people that made that happen came together and said, what if we could do this for other kids? And so that was the start of Make-A-Wish, and that was 1980.
1980,
Yes.
So we're not that far down the road from there.
No, and then in 1984, the Make-A-Wish Michigan chapter was formed. Our first wish was Wish Kid Joshua, and he wanted to go to Walt Disney World Resort.
Seems like a lot of kids want to go to Disney. Yes. A lot of athletes who win the Super Bowl want to go to Disney too.
Yes, it's not a bad place to go at all. I mean, what's a more magical destination than Disney?
So there's kids, there's different kinds of wishes though that people have. Now Disney was one of my kids' favorite places when they were little. Now they want to go to the beach rather than Disney. But what kinds of wishes do kids have? What kinds can they make?
So they come in 5 main categories. So the first one is wish to go, and that's your Disney. They want to go to Florida, California, New York, wherever it might be. Wish to have, so we have kids that wish to have a shopping spree adventure, pick out some video game systems, computers, games, whatever it might be, or they might wish to have a puppy. We have kids that wish to meet someone, so that's their favorite celebrity. Could be a sports star, musician, actor. The big rising category in that is YouTube stars, which is definitely a newer trend.
I just don't get the YouTube star thing, but okay.
Wish to give, we had a wish kid who wished to give a scoreboard to his high school football team. And then our final category, wish to be. So they might wish to be a cop. We had a wish to be a princess. So she had a horse-drawn carriage downtown Traverse City, and there were about 1,500 people lining the street cheering her on. Or even we had a couple years ago, wish to be a red Spinosaurus, which, as I understand...
A red Spinosaurus.
Yes, which is even more fierce than a T-Rex. So the kid, we made this costume, and he dressed up like a Spinosaurus, and then someone else dressed up like a T-Rex, and he chased the T-Rex around the facility, and he had a most amazing day.
So starting in 1984 in Michigan, this has been around, and it's expanded. And how many people are part of the organization today?
So right now there are 60 chapters throughout the country, and there's actually about 40 affiliates internationally, so it's worldwide. And then here in Michigan, we granted 416 wishes last year.
So in 2018, 416 wishes. And one of the things we talked about before is that there's this conception that is it all for kids, and what's the range?
Kids between 2.5 and 18. That's the time of age they have to be referred to us.
So between 2.5 and 18, but what is their condition? What makes them qualified to be part or eligible to be to have a wish granted for them?
Yep, they need to have a critical illness. So that covers a wide range of ailments. So that could be cancer, certain kinds of muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, congenital heart conditions. If you have an organ transplant, there's a variety of different conditions that will qualify you. And so usually it's a medical professional, their nurse, doctor, social worker, child life specialist who will refer the child to Make-A-Wish. We go through our proper verification channels to make sure that they do have the illness that would qualify for Make-A-Wish, and then we grant their wish.
The participants, though, they're not always terminal, though, are they?
Correct.
Okay.
So that is one of the biggest misconceptions, that all of our wish kids are terminal. And while some are, we don't view a wish as a last wish. We view it as an everlasting wish. So this wish really, regardless of your prognosis, your condition, the goal is to turn that anxiety into hope, fear into confidence, sadness into joy, and just really turn that child around. And some kids have even had better success, listening and following medical instruction and treatment because they've had a wish. And so it's truly incredible what these wishes do.
Okay, so the categories are wish to be, and we talked about police and things like that.
Yeah.
What are some of the coolest things that you can recall of kids wishing to be?
So the princess I mentioned, this year we had a kid, he was actually our 10,000th wish. His wish was to be a chef. So he spent a whole week he's from the West Michigan area, or that's where we granted the wish. And so he worked with a variety of chefs at some of the best restaurants in the area and learned how to make a variety of things. He was known for his cottage cheese pancakes, and so he taught those chefs how to make them. He has leukemia, and when he goes through treatment, his taste buds are really affected, and there are sometimes that cottage cheese pancakes are the only thing he can eat, and he just really would enjoy making them during his treatment. So he wanted to share that with some of the best chefs in the area.
How about, is there one thing that kids want to be more than other things, like a cop or a fireman or?
Those two tend to be more popular than some of the others, but it's actually our smallest category, so we haven't had a ton of those.
Okay.
We had someone wish to be a celebrity. Someone wished to star in their own music video recently, so we worked with a production company and actually did a music video to Kids Bop song, so it was pretty cool.
And the wish to give, like a scoreboard for a school, but there's probably some pretty sensitive sort of things that kids think about they want to give.
Yeah, it could be that they love animals, and they wanted, we had one wish kid who wanted to give money to help a charity that works with inmates to raise dogs that then can be trained for like veteran service members. So she wanted to give to that. So it's pretty incredible. We had another kid, he was adopted from an orphanage in China, and his wish was to go back to the orphanage and serve ramen noodles to the kids there. And he actually was worried that he was going to have to stay there once he went, but he still wanted to give back that much, that he was even willing to risk it. He was only like 5 years old.
Okay, so wish to give, wish to be,
Yep.
One of the other categories?
Wish to meet. So it could be meeting your favorite Detroit sports hero. It could be meeting your favorite musician. We work
Favorite
with
television host?
Yes, favorite television host. It could be meeting your favorite actor, actress, going on the set of, we had a wish kid go on the set of Grey's Anatomy. She was a big fan, and so GMA actually did a special on her. So it's really whatever their heart desires, and our national office works with all these incredible celebrities to grant their wishes.
Next category would be
The wish to go.
wish to go.
Yes. So we have Disney, we'll have go to Alaska. We've had a beach vacation up north in the summer, obviously not in the winter here.
Right.
But it really, wherever their heart leads them. And it might be not so much the destination, but, oh, I want to swim with turtles or go snorkeling with stingrays.
Or swim with pigs.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes. So we have a wish kid named Casey who wanted to swim with the pigs.
Now, until I heard about it about 10 minutes ago, I have no idea why or what swimming with pigs is.
Yes.
What is that?
So picture crystal clear waters in the Bahamas, and there are these pigs that are native to the area that you can actually get in boats, and the boats go up and the pigs swim up to them to get food. And they're just friendly pigs that you get to hang out with. So some people want to swim with sharks, other people want to swim with pigs. And we were very grateful. Casey, his dad, rode in our Wish a Mile bicycle
That's
tour.
Mark Doyle.
Yep, Mark Doyle. And I know that Kiwanis has actually donated to Mark's fundraising page, so we've been very grateful for your guys' support.
So is swimming with the pigs right in the top of the stranger sort of places to go?
That is definitely one of the more unique ones. I'm familiar with the Bahamas, so I knew what he was talking about, but a lot of the people who work at Make-A-Wish were like, what? Swim with pigs? What is that? So we definitely have some more unique ones that we have to look into just to even figure out what that actually is.
What's the furthest away that you've sent someone to for their wish to go?
We definitely will get some that wish to go to Japan or China. There might be a cultural reason. We've had some where they were actually adopted from China but had never returned to go over there. We've had some to Australia. Those are probably the farther destinations.
That's about as far as you can
Yeah.
go. Once you get halfway across Australia, you are on your way home from Australia. So.
Yes.
And what's the other category?
A wish to have. The
Wish.
shopping spree, or we had a wish kid. She loves watching Paw Patrol, and one of the characters is a puppy named Sky, and so she wanted a fluffy white puppy like Sky from Paw Patrol.
Wish to have.
Yes,
Okay.
wish to have. So we granted her wish, and the puppy's about a year old now. And for her, it was really helpful because she would get home from appointments every Tuesday. She has to have her blood cleaned out. She has a genetic disorder. And she would always have a really hard time, be really down, no energy. And she now has her puppy, and she's excited. And when she gets home, she might cuddle on the couch, or she might go play outside. So it's definitely given her a lot more confidence.
I think that the cost for having a chef training at a restaurant is a little bit different than sending a kid to Australia.
Yes.
So
definitely.
How do you decide how much to spend, or how does that shake out?
So the average value of our wish between cash costs and in-kind donations is about $10,000. Obviously that varies from wish to wish, how many family members you're sending on a trip. So we aim to grant the one heartfelt wish of every single kid. So it's up to our fundraising events and community support to make these wishes possible.
And to be considered for it to make a wish or have a wish granted, is there a website?
Yes, so you can go to michigan.wish.org to either make a donation, to refer yourself or someone you know to qualify for a wish. You can send them over.
Michigan.wish.org.
Correct.
And what's the criteria for a kid to get their wish granted?
So they need to be between the ages of 2.5, 18, to work with our chapter, live in the state of Michigan, and have a critical illness. So we've had families that think their child qualifies for an illness, so they'll fill out the form, and then our medical team actually will work with their doctor to see if they have the qualifying condition and go from there.
Making sure that they really have
Yes.
this need. And it has to be, you probably hear some stories about kids. It's got to be, how do you deal with that part of it, Christy?
I always get to say it's horrible to hear what our wish families go through, and the empathy you have for them and what they have to deal with on a day-by-day basis. But we have the fun part. We get to bring the joy. So yes, these families are going through horrific things, and our kids are the strongest kids you could ever meet. But we get to bring the joy and the fun. So I think we have the really awesome fun job. I have deep respect for their medical team that works with them on the difficult part of their illness.
And what's the total cost per year for Michigan Make-A-Wish, or Make-A-Wish Michigan? What do you got?
So we are looking to fundraise about $9 million each year to grant wishes. If we can raise more money, then we can grant even more wishes.
So what we're going to do, we're going to come back and talk about how people out there can help make wishes through Make-A-Wish. What's the website again?
Michigan.wish.org.
Michigan.wish.org.
Wish.org, yeah.
We'll talk about that one way, but there's also other kind of cool ways. By a bike ride, an enormous bicycle ride, a big part of your fundraising. We're going to come back and talk with Christie Schulte, who is the manager of communications and public relations for Make-A-Wish Michigan.
Yes.
Don't go away. We've got some words about Kiwanis, and we'll come right back and see how you can get in the saddle again and ride a long way and make a bunch of money for Michigan Make-A-Wish.
Who is a kid? Well, that's a kid. And another. Look, a gaggle of them. Or is it a herd? Litter? Pride. But what about her? Tell her she's not a kid. or him. So how do we tell who is a kid? Height? Age, maybe. But some of us have to grow up faster than others. A kid. A kid. A kid wants to make the world better. And one day, he just might. Is a kid fearless? Vulnerable? Strong? Nervous? Yes. 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 Kiwanis is 600,000 kids at heart doing all the little and big things it takes to help children around the world. Because kids need Kiwanis. All of them.
To a child battling a critical illness, a wish can feel like a dream. But with your help, it isn't out of reach. Wishes are an important part of medical treatment. A chance for kids to see themselves stronger, braver, to see that the impossible is possible. Wishes can give kids the strength to fight, to get better, to grow up. Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Welcome back to KiwaniTalk. I'm your host, Gary Gardner. We're talking with the wish giver, the wish granter.
I love that title.
The wisher-in-chief.
Yes.
Christie Schulte from Make-A-Wish, Michigan, the manager for communications and public relations. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
That's a lot of money. It's 400 wishes plus and $9 million. You got to have more than one way of raising a buck or two. What are some of the ways that Michigan Make-A-Wish helps make those wishes for kids?
Right. So we don't receive state or federal funding, so we rely 100% on community support. We work with local corporations to sponsor our events or partner with us. We do Kids for Wish Kids. We'll have schools that do a wish week, kind of like a pep rally, do different fundraisers. But then we have all of these individual donors that will donate, family foundations. But our fundraising events are actually a really big piece of the pie for us in making these wishes come true.
And you have galas and things like that?
Yes. So we do 2 Wish Ball galas, one in Grand Rapids.
What's a wish ball?
That's just the name of our gala. So it's a black tie gala that we have in Grand Rapids every May, and then in the fall every year in Detroit. We do 2 Walk for Wishes. One is in Royal Oak. It'll be May 2nd. And then the other one in Traverse City will be June 13th.
And so the galas, those are like black tie dinners, fancy food, but a couple of
Correct.
bucks to get in. And
Yes.
all that type of
The Walk for Wishes events, those we encourage everyone to fundraise at least $100, but those are very accessible, very family-friendly activities.
And how far do you have to walk to do this?
It depends on them, but about a mile and a half, depending on which one.
I could probably do
Yeah.
that.
It's a very slow pace. You're meandering through the zoo. It's a pretty fun outing. We have breakfast, lunch, and you get to hang out at the Detroit Zoo all day, so not a bad way to spend a beautiful spring day.
Okay, so you got a couple of galas, a couple of walks.
Yep.
You
We
have
do our Trailblaze Challenge, so that's a 21-mile hike. So we have hikers from all over the state, and on one day in September, it's the weekend after Labor Day, they hike 21 miles in one day. It's pretty incredible. And the last mile of the hike, we have these wish necklaces where you can pick out a wish kid that's on a necklace and wear that as inspiration for that final mile. But it's truly incredible. Each hiker raises at least $2,500 for Make-A-Wish. It's incredible.
And you get a bunch of hikers doing that?
Yes.
But there's one really big event that you do. What's that?
Our real big event is the Wish a Mile Bicycle Tour. We'll be in our 33rd year in 2020, and we can't wait. That event raises more than $2.5 million, and it's the biggest revenue chunk for us in terms of making these wishes come true.
So it's a bicycle ride, and you want a couple miles, or is
No.
it more than a couple miles?
For me, I wish it was just a couple miles, but it's actually a 300-mile bike ride from Traverse City to Marshall, Michigan at the Eaton Proving Grounds is where we finish.
There must be
And
some meandering, because it's not 300 miles in that
no,
direct route.
we make it so each day is about 100 miles for that even 300. And it actually all started because 4 guys in 1987 wanted to just challenge each other. Do you think we can bike from Canton to Mackinac? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. And they decided to pick a charity, and they picked Make-A-Wish, and the rest is history.
It's a party on a bike for 300 miles. Who doesn't want to do that?
You know, we're out here with our closest friends. We're here with our families. We're meeting people from all over the country. This is one of the most fun weekends of the year.
You make good friends, you laugh, you cheer, you cry. It's everything wrapped into one event.
We'll be together for 3 days. We're going to ride 300 miles. You will be different at the end of this.
We could not have our Wish a Mile bicycle tour without the tremendous support of more than 300 volunteers along the way from start to finish.
The volunteers are some of the most beautiful people in the world as well. They are everywhere.
Have a good day. See you on the road.
It's a weekend of hundreds of people getting together, rallying around the Make-A-Wish Michigan cause and helping to make wishes come true for extraordinary and courageous kids in our community.
Stop thinking about it. Sign up. Do it.
I guarantee you, 100% guarantee, that you will get hooked and you will stay.
Yeah, baby.
So you got 700 bikers. Now, logistically, moving that, it's a small army.
Yeah.
How do you arrange for that, and what goes on behind the scenes for that, Christie?
So we have one staff member, her name's Kelly Jo, and her entire job year-round is to plan logistics for this event because it truly is a moving city. You're getting more than 1,000 volunteers and riders from city to city. So she works with the schools to make sure there's a safe place for our riders to sleep. If they choose to sleep in a hotel, she has shuttles going for them. We have shower trucks where there are these big swanky interior shower rooms where people can get ready each morning.
We've got Bengay supplies and by the gallon.
So many. We have break stops, so about every 10 miles there's plenty of food, drinks, bathroom stop for people. We actually have medics on the tour, doctors, and then we have all these volunteers driving support and guide vehicles. We call them SAG vehicles, and then we dress them or decorate them in pretty fun decor to keep it entertaining. And they actually are going from break stop to break stop. So if, let's say, you get a flat tire and you need to get driven back to the next break stop, we'll take you there, and we'll have a bike mechanic there that will help get your bike tire all patched up and ready to go. So it's incredible how supported the tour is to make our riders feel safe.
And I can't imagine how much room 700 bicycles take up on a road. You guys travel in a chunk, or are they spread out, or how does that work?
So we have a starting time where you must leave the school by, I believe it's 8 a.m., but we'll have a lot of people that will start at 6 or somewhere in between. They're never allowed to ride more than 2 abreast, so we want to make sure we keep it safe and they're spread out. And we have people of all talents and abilities, so even if you start at the same time, there might be someone who's really fast and gets there pretty quick, and there are other people that just need a little more time.
Ever get anybody lost and they go way out of their way?
No, I mean, I'm sure there might have been 1 or 2 people, but we actually have Miles for Smiles. It's a fundraising where you can make a donation and have a sign on the route, and every mile there's a sign. So you know if you haven't seen a sign in a while, you're not still on track.
Turn around and go back.
Right. And we also have an amazing road crew. So not only do they get rid of roadkill, but they also will put arrows on the road to help direct people.
Your riders aren't the road killer, right?
No.
Okay.
but any animals that might have met their demise. We even have volunteers to take care of that.
So how much does a rider, would you like them to raise to be able to participate?
We ask riders in the 300 to raise at least $1,200 to participate, and we get riders who will raise $1,200 to even up to $30,000. It really depends, and a lot of them will work with their, if they work for a company, the company might make a donation, friends, family, they might even put on their own fundraiser to make it possible, but it's really incredible to see the community come together and help these riders.
So if anybody's interested, the website again is?
We ask riders or potential riders to go to wishamile.org to learn all about the event.
So wishamile.org is
Yep.
different than the other website, which was?
Right. You can go to michigan.wish.org, but we have an event-specific website, wishamile.org, that will have all the information you need about the
So you
event.
got the Wish, is that this exclusively for Michigan, or?
Yep,
You,
exclusive.
you locked that one down?
Yes, there are a lot of walk for wishes throughout the country, but we're the only Wish a Mile.
Okay, and if someone wanted to do that, right now we're sitting here middle of November, it's kind of cold outside. When is the 300-mile endurance, killer thing going on?
So Wish a Mile Bicycle Tour is in 2020, July 23rd through the 26th. It's always the last weekend in July. But we encourage people, especially if you're not an avid cyclist, start now. Sign up today, give yourself plenty of time to fundraise and train. And when you kind of break it down month by month, if you start this early, it's a challenge, but it's truly incredible. And the best part is when you cross the finish line, a Wish kid will put a medal over your neck. And I get goosebumps just thinking about those moments and what it means to our riders to know, yes, our Wish kids are going through so much. And this weekend is really tough, going 300 miles in 3 days, but our Wish kids go through so much more. And this is the little thing we can do to help make more wishes possible in the state.
So you have started in 1984. You're granting over 400 wishes per year. What would you, if you could wish for the Make-A-Wish, what would Christie Schulte wish?
I would wish to definitely bring in more revenue. We actually have more than 800 Wish kids in need of a wish come true, and we're granting more than 400 a year. So there's definitely a gap, and that's based on funding. So the more funding we get, the more quickly we can grant wishes to these kids.
So if you don't want to ride a bike or walk 21 miles or there's a way you can donate to, or don't want to go to a gala.
Right.
What can people out there do?
You can go to michigan.wish.org, and in the top right corner there's a button that says donate. Any donation, big or small, would make a huge difference to our families.
I got to say, despite the Red Wings losing their mojo winner person, I think that Michigan Make-A-Wish is really fun, a real gem with Christie Schulte.
Thank you.
Then being part of that. Anything you want to say? We got 1 minute to go. What would you want to tell the viewers out there?
We're just so grateful for supporters throughout the state. We're really grateful to be here today, and our Wish kids are so strong, but they need people here in this community to make a difference. And so truly, whether you donate $5, $20, or you raise $1,200, it really makes a difference to these kids.
Well, Christie Schulte, I want to thank you for coming on, talking about Make-A-Wish. It's a lot more than you think about it. A lot of kids out there need it. A lot more kids need more help, and I wish you guys would help. Thanks. Nice to see you. Bye-bye. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.